This is a very mild tail chasing dog. It's almost slow motion. And a lot of people thought in the first place this was a seizure problem. And we've actually published a paper that showed that everyone who does it has seizures. But that doesn't mean that's all that's going on. This is another little dog, a mini bull, who's doing it a little bit more aggressively and with some flank sucking too that you occasionally see as another compulsive behavior attached. So from a seizure disorder, compulsive disorder, we made the leap to autism because these dogs also, in a study of 333 dogs we did, they also have, they're socially withdrawn, they have object obsession, they have staring, trancing, more likely have explosive aggression and so on. This little dog is another, tail chaser who rushes around in circles like a whirling dervish. And to start with, I thought this is very, unusual because this is a, sort of mini dachshund, and he just spins and spins and spins. Turns out that was a medical problem. So watch out for curveballs. And this video too, this little wary terrier, a lot of people would say, oh, he's just a tail chaser. Maybe he's just a regular old tail chaser, like a form of canine OCD. Or maybe he's got that autism thing going on, if he had some other signs. What is it? Well, I had to consult with some other people on that. And we believe this dog had a brain lesion, a striatal lesion. So the next step, which we didn't do in this case, would have been to do an MRI and to look and see what's going on in his head. That wouldn't be much use for a regular obsessive compulsive, but this dog did not respond to any of the treatments that usually work. And this is another unusual one because, border collies are known for light and shadow pacing. This one, if you notice, is kind of backing up and then he kind of goes to attack his leg, and sometimes his tail. And yeah, there's some backward spinning kind of involved in this, but I think this could be not just a regular old tail chasing with an OCD or seizure etiology or even an autism type situation. I believe this is what's called floating limb syndrome, that a dog or other animal raised in splendid isolation with no littermates to play with, in a period of development they call rough and tumble play. There's no one to play with except yourself, and you do this aggressive posturing towards your own limb, sometimes a back limb, sometimes a tail or a front leg. You have this battle with yourself. I believe that could be a floating limb syndrome, which would respond to medication, but very little else. So in general, if we're not looking at these special cases that maybe has a brain lesion or maybe has autism, but just a regular old louping tail chaser, oftentimes a little terrier type dog that tends to run in circles when he gets excited or some such, there are some things we can do to palliate without jumping to medical things and medical treatments. I'd like to toss now to Donna, who will describe some of the things that we can do in terms of environment and so on to help these dogs out. Donna?
Absolutely. And I think what the owners need to recognize or ask themselves is that, ask them that question, what is the motivation for the behavior? And a bigger question could be, is this behavior impacting their quality of life? And if the answer is no, and they're just having fun, we look at things that we can do in their environment to help them. Some of the things you can do is increase mental and physical exercise. So enrich the environment, maybe mental puzzle games, Kongs, increase physical exercise. They always say a tired dog is a good dog. So if your dog is more tired, he has less energy to do this spinning or tail chasing. You want to think about maybe doing some sort of noise intervention, maybe like clicker training, where the dog learns to defer to you when he hears the click. So there's a lot of things that we can do in the environment. But I think the biggest thing is that the owner needs to say, is the dog just having fun, or is this something that we really do need to look at the environment to change, to make things better?
Yeah, good point.